Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I always begin any speech at any gathering by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the privilege of being here. And why I say that is that some of us planned to be here and are not here. And some of us never planned to be here, but by His grace, we are here. And any time we are gathered together in a place where Allah's name is mentioned, and where the people have gathered for a noble intention to get good in this life and the next, this, my dear sisters, is a privilege. And it's something that we should be grateful for and mindful of, inshallah. So I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts our gathering here and our best intentions for gathering here, and makes it something that is a proof for us on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Ameen. I would like to start my presentation telling you a little story. It's a birth story, and it's suitable, and I think you will see Malia was actually the inspiration for this story. Picture the scene. I'm a mother of 4. I've had 4 home births, no complications. Alhamdulillah, 2 out of those home births were actually water births. I'm blessed with 4 healthy children, and I'm on my 5th pregnancy. And guess what? I'm planning for my 5th home birth, okay? Anyone home birth advocate in here? Yeah, a few of you, yeah, okay. All right, so the crazies, yeah, the home birth advocates, we believe in home births, okay? It's something we believe in. It's like aqidah, you know, like home birth. A woman has the right to birth at home. A woman knows how to do it. Her body knows what to do. She doesn't need intervention, etc. So this is where I'm coming from. And on my 5th pregnancy, my doctor has agreed that she will see me at home and help me with my 5th home birth. Alhamdulillah. I go into labor at home, got the candles, the aromatherapy, got the bath, I'm in my zone. I'm like, yeah, I'm dealing with this. It's okay, just breathe, just breathe. Visualize the waves. If you've never done this stuff, seriously, if you haven't had a baby yet, trust me, it works, okay? You know when the contractions are coming? Visualize the waves and breathe through it. Just let it go through you. It's all for a good purpose. It's all gonna be good. So I'm in the zone, I'm ready to do this, I'm feeling empowered, I'm feeling ready for this birth, because trust me, I actually love giving birth. I know it's crazy, but I do, and I always have done. So at this stage, we call the doctor, and we say, okay, we think it's time. She comes, and she says, I'm not prepared to see this birth at home. You have to go to the hospital. I'm like, what? She says, I refuse to basically attend this labor. You need to go to hospital right now. And subhanAllah, for me, it was like the end of the world, because hospital was an unknown place for me. I've never been there to give birth. So we go in the car and I'm crying. And I can't believe this. I said, I was so ready, you know, like now what's gonna happen? Am I gonna be able to birth the way I need to birth? You know, what's gonna happen here? So they drive me to hospital, and the first thing they do is separate my husband and I. This is Egypt, by the way. It's not in England, this was in Egypt. So they separate us. So now I'm without my usual birth partner, which was my husband, and I'm on my own in the hospital, and they tell me to go to the room and get undressed and put on, you know, those hospital gowns, those like paper gowns. And this whole time I am in utter distress. Everything that I had heard about hospital births happened. Bright lights, check. Nurses who speak to you in a way that you don't like, check. Wearing weird garments and not being able to feel comfortable in your own skin, check. Making you lie down on a bed, check. Making you put your feet up in stirrups, check. Making you birth lying on your back, check. And my contraction stopped. I was just crying and crying and crying. I was traumatized. And I lay there, and the doctor said, you have to push this baby out now. And I said, I don't feel feel like pushing. It's not, you know, when you birth yourself, you know. I said, I don't feel like pushing. He said, you push that baby out or I'm going to pull it out. So I had to push. And the doctor put her hand on my stomach and basically massaged that baby out. And then went in there and just did this to bring all the rest of the stuff out. And it actually is difficult for me to speak about this without getting emotional because I felt violated. And I couldn't get over it. And it was only 2 or 3 months afterwards, when I was going to write an editorial for Sisters magazine about this birth, that I realized my traumatic experience of birth was what most women experience as normal. A hospital birth is the norm still for most women. And most women will have to contend with feeling uncomfortable, feeling disempowered, maybe being tended to by people who don't care about them, or don't give them that sense of security, and don't have the fairy tale birth. And at that moment, my sense of awe rose within me. And I said, why? Why, for thousands of years, have they told us that we're weak? Why have they told us this story of the weak woman, weak in mind, weak in spirit, weak in body, when every second of every day a woman is giving birth? And she bears that child, and she gives birth to that child, and she bears everything that comes with the pregnancy, the birth, and whatever happens afterwards. And I thought of women like us throughout time who have birthed in the fields and then gone back to do the labor that they are supposed to do. Women who have labored, served families, carried coal with babies on their backs. And I thought to myself, when we recognize and celebrate the feminine strength that is within us, the power that is within us, we will start to see a shift in the way we see ourselves, the way we treat ourselves, and the way we allow others to treat us. Because my sisters, one thing, no matter what they say, we have strength within us. We just don't recognize it. Sisters are the bedrock of the community. And anyone who works in the community knows that. I'm not coming from any kind of perspective, it's true. The sisters keep the home together, they keep the family together, they keep charities running, they keep our schools running, they prepare the next generation to go out there. These are women who are resilient, who are brave, who are courageous. These are women who every single day, no matter what pains they bear, no matter what tragedies they go through, no matter what trials they experience, wake up to stand up another day, to rise again and do the work. And that is something, sisters, that we don't acknowledge enough. Because we take it like martyrs. Oh, well, I have to do it. No, it's not that you have to do it because you actually don't. You've made a choice to do it. And I'm proud of you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with you for making that choice. You don't have to do anything. Don't take the things that you do on a day-to-day basis for granted. Because those things are azim in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the things I have noticed with my sisters is our tendency to downplay what we do. We underestimate ourselves. We undersell ourselves. We think, well, what's great about what I do? What, I just look after my family and I just do my job and that's it. No! Because guess what? There are people out there who are not looking after their families. There are people out there who are not going to work. There are people out there who are not being the courageous, dedicated, responsible, brave beings that you are on a day-to-day basis. And so I celebrate you. But more important than me saying anything is for you to celebrate yourself, because you're doing an amazing job. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed tests for every one of us. Different tests. My test, Malia's test, different. My test and your test, different. My test and your test, your test, your test. Every one of us is in one of 3 states. And I got this from my friend Rayan, and the minute she said it, I said, that's haq right there. Every one of us is in one of 3 states. We either have been tested, or we are being tested, or we are, what is it? Going to be tested. فهذه حياة الدنيا. هذه سنة الحياة الدنيا. This is the sunnah of this life. Tests and examination. And so, knowing that what we know about this life, every one of us will have our own test. But guess what? Every one test has been chosen specifically for us because it is a means for purification, and we can get through that test. Because a test that I can bear, maybe my sister can't bear. That's why it's not her test. And what she can bear, maybe I can't bear. That's why that's her test. And so as we understand that as sisters, brothers, human beings, we will be tested, let us look at ourselves and appreciate the fact that we are doing what we need to do to get through this life. We are showing up. We are giving of ourselves. We are making an amazing contribution every single day. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that. And so there's 2 pieces of advice, inshallah, that I have, 2 reminders. 1, purify your intention. Purify your intention, because your intention changes the day-to-day actions to ibadah. So all those things that we women have been doing for centuries, are they not ibadah with the right intention? Yeah? Whether it's birthing, whether it's tending to aged parents, whether it's paying the bills, as we do nowadays, whether it's raising a family on your own, whether it's dealing with never getting married, all of these things, if we approach them from a place of iman and in a place of tawakkul, we will know that we are where we need to be right now. Wherever it is, wherever you are right now is where you need to be right now. And you matter where you are right now. I remember when we were in Nigeria, we had another gathering, mashallah, with hundreds of sisters. And it was a Q&A. And a sister lifted up her hand and she said, since getting divorced, I feel like I am nobody. What can you tell me? And subhanallah, so many sisters blame themselves for things that they're not blameworthy for. A sister who has not had a child, she's blaming herself. Sister who's not married, she feels that she's past it, she's blaming herself. Sister who's divorced, blaming herself. Husband marries someone else, she's blaming herself. Her parents think that she's not a good mum, she's blaming herself. And so all the time, we're stuck in a negative cycle. But the reality is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best what is best for you. And so if He's put you in a situation, know that there is khair in that situation for you. Maybe it's staring you right in the face and you haven't even seen it. So I ask you in my first piece of advice is open your eyes to the blessings that are in your life right now. The opportunities you have for barakah in your life as it is right now. Not in a fantasy future, right now. and make intention to grab every second of that barakah, every drop of that barakah, and make it count for akhirah. That's my first piece of advice. My second piece of advice is to remember that sisterhood is what keeps us going. Sisterhood is what keeps us going. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. I have to be, because only a sister is going to have your back. Only a sister is going to be there when you need someone's shoulder to cry on and let it all out. When you need that reminder, when you need that strength, when you need that compassion, when you need someone to just listen, that's a sister. And so as sisters, we must be kind to each other. One of the things that I wrote about in From My Sister's Lips, if you remember, the final chapter, was actually on sisterhood. And there's a story as to why that's the final chapter. My father, who's not Muslim, named Afim, he read the book with me while I was writing it. And I had ended the book on the book of knowledge, the chapter on knowledge. And he said to me, one of the things that you have with your sisters that so many women around the world crave is a sense of security, a sense of safety, of acceptance, of love for the sake of Allah. That should be your final chapter, because that is one of the things I see in your life as your father. I see you living with that. I see the camaraderie. I see the respect that you have. I see that sense of no competition, of true sisterhood. That's how you should end the book. And so, for us as sisters, those bonds of sisterhood need to be preserved. They need to be nurtured. Okay, family is important, yes. But family is family, okay? Family is family. And family deals with you in a particular way. Sisters don't deal with you like that. Sisters don't expect anything from you. Sisters take you as you are. A true sister, well, that is the unconditional love, because she accepts you for who you are. And she's there for you like you're there for her. And so in an event like this, in a place like this, let's remember that sisterhood, that we've come together for a purpose that is higher than ourselves. And that is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and exhibiting that sisterhood. Because when we can see each other primarily as sisters, we don't need anything else. All I know is you're my sister and I've got you. That's it. You're my sister and I've got you. I respect you, I love you, I'm here for you. That's all that matters. And I know that the more we cultivate those bonds in our communities for our children, the stronger we will be as women, the stronger we will be able to go out into the world with that support and that knowledge that we have a sisterhood, we have a family that is kind of bigger than even our own families. And so I would like to thank you all for coming here in the spirit of sisterhood. And because we are here for the benefit of our sisters, it makes it even more poignant. Because truly, we are our sisters' keepers. And when we do for others, without expecting anything in return, that is the best form of giving. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from us, accepts your presence here as an act of ibadah, and anything more that comes from this, that He accepts every single pound, every single penny, every single prayer, and that you see it on Yawm al-Qiyamah, inshaAllah. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your patience, and any mistakes are from myself and the shaitan, and all good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. سبحانك اللهم ربنا بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت واستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم.